Alright, folks, what's up? Rich Van Tassel with you, finishing up with the game recaps for the 4 o'clock slate of Week 15. San Francisco 25-23 over the Tennessee Titans. San Francisco now improves to 4-10, very well under Jimmy Garoppolo. Tennessee drops to 8-6, really making it very wide open for the last two spots in the AFC wildcard chase. Marcus Mariota 23 of 33, 241, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. The top rusher was DeMarco Murray, 18 carries, 59 yards. It's a 3.3 per rush. Derrick Henry, 7 of 19, 2.7. The team, 28 of 90, 3.2 yards per rush. They're generally a much better running team than that. Rashard Matthews, top receiver, 6 of 95, 1 touchdown. Eric Decker, 5 of 63. Delanie Walker, 5 of 37, the other touchdown. Corey Davis, 3 of 28. Delanie Walker lost a fumble. The team had 3 sacks. Jaylen Brown, Avery Williamson, Wesley Woodyard. No interceptions. Adoree Jackson, a 21-yard kick return, a punt return for no yards. And Ryan Succop made all 3 of his field goals. For the 49ers, Jimmy Garoppolo, very nice game, 31 of 43, 381. 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Carlos Hyde, top rusher, 16 of 25, 1.6. Matt Breida, 5 of 13, 2.6. The team, 22 of 51, 2.3 yards per rush. So you see why he had to throw that much. Marcus Goodwin, 10 receptions, 114 yards. Kendrick Bourne, 4 of 85. He had a 54-yarder. Garrett Selleck, 3 of 63, the touchdown. Adrian Colbert recovered a fumble. The team had 1 sack. It was split between Tank Carradine and DeForest Buckner. No interceptions. Matt Breida, 4. Kick return, 65 yards. Longest of 28, 16.3 average. So you take that 28-yarder off, then it's not very impressive at all. Trent Taylor, 12-yard punt return. Robbie Gould, 6 for 6 in his field goals, including the game winner. So only 1 touchdown for the 49ers. Their offense was not very effective in this game as far as putting the ball in the end zone, but they did get the win. They are moving it with Jimmy Garoppolo and beginning to show what they're going to move forward with next season. Now you got to wonder what players are going to be there, what players are not in the future, but certainly that's a case where if he's able to just keep this team going and get with some of the guys who may be back, like a Marquise Goodwin, who played very well today, or anyone else for that matter, you may see this team keep some of these players. Now, as for the Tennessee Titans, I'm happy that they got some of their receivers involved. I think that was important. You saw Rashard Matthews have a lot of yards in this game. You also saw Corey Davis have a few catches. Eric Decker had some yards in this one, but all in all, if they're not able to run the ball, this team is going to have a hard time. So what to do moving forward if you're the Tennessee Titans? Clearly, you have to start winning some of these games. Now that they lost, they no longer control their own destiny with the division, which is very important. If they won out, even though the Jacksonville Jaguars have been playing as well as they have been, there was still a shot that they would have been able to potentially win the division. Now it's certainly going to be an uphill climb for them, and especially if their offense doesn't get it together running the ball. The Los Angeles Rams pounded the Seattle Seahawks 42-7. Los Angeles is now 10-4. The Seattle Seahawks dropped to 8-6. That is a big win for the Rams. It almost certainly gives them the division at this point. Seattle, of course, now very much in that wild card chase. Jared Goff, 14-21, 120 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Sean Mannion, 1 of 2, 4 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Todd Gurley continues to impress. He had 21 carries for 152 yards, 7.2 per rush, 3 touchdowns, had a 57-yarder. Malcolm Brown, 10 of 45, 4.5. Tavon Austin, 10 of 44, 4.4. The team, 43 of 244, 5.7. 5.7 is plenty in a close game. 5.7 is certainly more than enough when you're running 43 times with a 35-point lead. Robert Woods, 6 receptions, 45 yards, a touchdown. Todd Gurley, 3 of 28, a touchdown. Cooper Kupp, 2 of 21. Not a touchdown for him. Alex Ogletree, Robert Havenstein, Morgan Fox recovered fumbles. Sean Mannion, Jared Goff fumbled. They were not lost. Tavon Austin recovered a fumble. The team had 7 sacks. Michael Brockers, Matt Longgrace, Robert Quinn had, that was a split between them. Robert Quinn, that is, had 2. Aaron Donald had 3. He was a monster this game. Connor Barwin had 1. No interceptions. Pharoh Cooper, 2 kick returns, 52 yards, longest of 30, average of 26, good. He had 7 punt returns for 128 yards. That's an 18.3 average, longest of 53. You take that off, that's 6 for 55, which is still over 9 yards per return, which is very good. Greg Zuerlein, 2 of 2 in his field goals. For the Seahawks, not one of Russell Wilson's better games in this one. 14 to 30, 142 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Russell Wilson was the top rusher. Again, 5 carries, 39 yards, 7.8 per rush. J.D. McKissic, 6 of 23.3. The team 17 to 78, 4.6 yards per rush. J.D. McKissic, 3 of 38. Luke Wilson, 1 of 26. This is receiving. That was a 26-yard touchdown for Luke Wilson. Mike Davis, 2 of 20. Russell Wilson fumbled twice, lost one of them. Tanner McEvoy lost a fumble. The team had 2 sacks. Frank Clark and Dion Jordan. Michael Wilhoit had 1 interception. Tyler Lockett, 6 kick returns, 118 yards. Longest of 32 on an average of 19.7. Not really good at all. He had 2 punt returns for 18 yards, and Blair Walsh did not attempt any field goals. So the Rams look, Todd Gurley is playing very well. Clearly, you don't need much from Jared Goff when you're playing this well. Now, in playoff games, Jared Goff will have to play better than this, assuming, of course, that, as most would expect, in the playoffs, the level of competition will stiffen and they'll make it more difficult for Todd Gurley to go off like that. But as long as you have it going, then you're not going to need Jared Goff to do much. Big win for the Rams. They almost certainly sealed the division with this one. For Seattle, they've got to get back to the drawing board. Of course, they've had defensive injuries, but they're still not really running the ball all that effectively. Yes, they were over 4 yards per carry, but that was because of Russell Wilson going 5 of 39 in this one. Running the ball, it's got to get better. It's really that simple. And Seattle may be on the outside looking in come playoff time. New England 27 to 24 over the Pittsburgh Steelers. New England is 11-3. Pittsburgh is 11-3. Now New England holds the tiebreaker, but any slip up opens the door for Pittsburgh. Got a lot to talk about with this game. Very bad call at the end of this game. I don't know if I should talk about it first or... Well, we'll do the box scores first, get into that at the end. Tom Brady, 22 of 35, 298 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Dion Lewis, the top rusher, 13 carries, 67 yards. That's 5.2 per rush, 1 touchdown. Rex Burkhead, 4 of 12, 3 yards per rush, 1 touchdown. The team, 19 of 77, 4.1 yards per rush. Rob Gronkowski, 9 receptions, 168 yards. Brandon Cooks, 4 of 61, touchdown. Danny Amendola, 2 of 23. Dion Lewis, 1 of 13. No fumbles. The team had 2 sacks. One was split between Torrey Flowers and Deatrich Weiss. Lawrence Guy had the other. Duron Harmon had an interception. Dion Lewis, 4 kick returns, 74 yards. Longest of 27, average of 18.5. Danny Amendola, 1 of 11. Stephen Gostkowski, 2 for 2 in his field goals. For the Pittsburgh Steelers, Ben Roethlisberger, 22 of 30, 281 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. That interception sealed the game. Le'Veon Bell, 24 carries, 117 yards, 4.9 per rush, 1 touchdown. James Conner, 3 of 13, 4.3 yards per rush. The team 33 of 143, 4.6 yards per rush. Juju Smith-Schuster, top receiver, 6 of 114. Martavis Bryant, 4 of 59, a touchdown. Le'Veon Bell, 5 of 48. Antonio Brown was knocked out of this game, 2 of 24. Eli Rogers had an 18-yard touchdown. Ben Roethlisberger fumbled and recovered as the team had 2 sacks. Cameron Hayward and Bud Dupree. Vince Williams, 1 interception. Juju Smith-Schuster, 2 kick returns, 49 yards. Fitzgerald Toussaint, 3 of 36. Eli Rogers, 1 punt return for 2 yards. Chris Boswell, 1 for 1 in his field goals. Pittsburgh, look, you can say that they had the consistency from the 3 guys, or you can't say that, but again, Antonio Brown was knocked out of this game. Roethlisberger played pretty well, and Le'Veon Bell was certainly on par. Of course, Tom Brady was not at his best. Rob Gronkowski, that is, was. They ran the ball pretty efficiently. Look, this game came down to a call. Jesse James, it was, caught the pass, clearly a touchdown turn. It was a bobble when he fell into the end zone, but the ball you can't even see the ball hitting the ground. And of course, on the next play, or it may have been one play in between, Roethlisberger threw the interception. If they got that, they would have gone up by 4 points with about 30 seconds left, and it would have been tough for the New England Patriots to win. Again, this is a black eye for the league. It's another bad call, and it was definitely a situation where that's not the spirit of the rule. The spirit of the rule is not when a guy falls to the ground. He's clearly in the end zone. First off, his knee touched, and the ball crossed the pylon, so that's a touchdown. Last I checked, the ground count calls a fumble, but apparently it can whenever the NFL decides it wants that to be the case. The rule is to protect when a guy catches it and then starts rolling over like 3 times on the ground and then the ball comes loose. It's not to nitpick bobbles on clear touchdown passes. So it's another terrible call. It's a tough loss for the Steelers. Let's see how they respond moving forward. All right, when the game goes final between the Raiders and the Cowboys, we'll give you the recap of that. Be sure to stay tuned. And remember, we appreciate all subscriptions. Thank you.